As children, we play pretend games. We have things in our life that scare us, things that make us happy, smells, different people in our life, the way our grandma smells or her hair smells, the way school is when we go there, and kids' voices, and the cars we like the best, and we play all these games. What we don't understand is those things go with us to our adulthood. And one of the things that is most prominent in our life as adults is money. And if you go backwards in time and you think about it, what was your relationship with money when you were a child? I know what mine is. I'll share that for a minute or two. When we were kids, we were not allowed to talk about money. We were very poor. My dad came in and out of our lives. And when my mother and father did speak about money, they were usually screaming at each other. They either screamed at each other or nobody spoke. So in our household, the subject of money was very tense, very scary. I didn't understand how money worked when I was 4 or 5 years old, but I knew we didn't have any, and I knew that having money made things better and not having money made things worse. So as I got older, I noticed if I would babysit, I would hide my money away and keep it. And there would be things I might be able to buy with it, but I chose not to because I was afraid, well, if I chose to spend my $5 on something, when it was gone, then what would I do? And back then when you babysat, you made 50 cents an hour if you were lucky. So I started feeling very anxious about my money and sticking it in my underwear drawer or my sock drawer. It wasn't until I got into high school that I started putting it in a little savings account because my mother worked at a bank. And so as I was in high school, I started really understanding how much it cost for my mom to have me in her life. My uniforms, my books, anything we needed, food, gasoline, groceries. We knew it when we were kind of low on money because we had waffles for dinner, or we had pancakes and scrambled eggs because we didn't have money for meat or vegetables. So I started to get this relationship of anxiety with money. And I think if you look back in your childhood, you can see that the relationship you have with money now is the relationship that started a long time ago. And it's very important to look at that relationship. Now when you have money, do you have anxiousness? Are you having struggles with, well, I really want that item and I work hard for it, so I should be able to get it, even though buying it will cause a guilty reaction or an anxious reaction, or even cause you to cry or lie to someone about it? Our relationship with money from our childhood is one of the most important things you're going to learn when we start going forward to balance our checkbook, to record our cash spending, how we talk to our children about money. All of that's going to come into play as soon as you look at your relationship with money. So let's talk about that. When you are around money and the subject of money, and where is your money as an adult? Let's say you're just out of college, and during college your parents paid for a lot of the things and you didn't really have to sort through your budgets. Now that you're out of college and your parents have said, hey, you're 22, you're on your own, and you're saying, wait a minute, I don't know anything about this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know why to do this. I think I'll move back home. I don't feel safe. I don't know what to do. I've got a job, but it doesn't pay very much. I don't know what to do. And then you go back and you say, well, no one really explained anything to me when I was a kid. No one said, oh, here's $5. Put 3 of it away and you can spend 2. Or, you know what, I can't give you $5 this week because we had to replace our water heater or a tire on the car. Something like that. Parents feel like they can't speak to their children about money. And more important than anything, we need to talk to our children about money and how it works. You don't need to scare them. You don't need to give them anxiety about it, but you do need to speak to them about how money works in your household. So let's say you and your husband are working, or you and your grandma live together and you're raising 2 children. Whatever your scenario is, however the money comes into the house, your children need to be part of the team. They need to know that, yeah, maybe the kid down the street just is getting a car for his birthday, or just got a bike, or is going to take ice skating lessons, but we can't, and here's why. If you tell children why, if you know why as an adult, if you speak to your spouse or your significant other with whom you're sharing expenses, if you speak about the why and the what, you will not argue and feel as anxious. I am talking to you now to start talking about money. Start talking about it to your children, with your spouse. There should be no secrets. It shouldn't be about, oh, I just spent $35 on a purse. I can't tell my husband that. If you are doing that, there's something we have to look at. And I want to teach you how to track your money. I want to be able to show you how to balance your checkbook, what your W-2 means, all those things that are in your daily life that you kind of maybe put aside. Maybe you don't open your bank statements, maybe you don't look at your credit cards, maybe you go to the ATM on Friday and get $200, and on Monday morning you don't have $200 left and you don't know where it went. All those things, we're going to tackle all of those things, but we're going to take maybe a little quiz. There may be a quiz on what your emotional relationship with money is, and where you make mistakes and what you're not even aware of. That is really important. We're going to delve into that and find that out as we go forward.